What is up, party people? What's happening? We're doing some more painting today. We were originally going to do this, I think we said last time, we were coming back the next day after we primed these chair rails, and we were going to paint them right away. But one issue is it got cold again and was like into the 30s this week in Wisconsin, so we couldn't come back and finish the chair rails. So that's what we're here to do today. We're going to put a top coat of Rerouting on the chair rails, and then I think we're also going to try and tackle the heater today. We still got to get fittings. We went to 2 different stores and couldn't find the right fittings to try and loop the system, the cooling system for the heater. So we may make another hardware store run to do that. But painting is first on the list today, and then we're gonna kind of go from there and assess from there. So let's get painting. All right, so time to tackle this heater. We've been wanting to do this to get it out of the way because it's just taking up space in the bus, but we haven't taken, or we've kind of had to jump around a few places to find what we think will be the right stuff. So basically I'm just gonna, since we're keeping our front heater, I'm going to just cut the 2 hoses to the rear heater and loop them back to each other. So hopefully it just kind of maintains that loop. I don't think I'm gonna cut a ton of hose out. I think I'm just probably gonna leave it and kind of keep it tucked up back here. Probably could cut some hose out and shorten the cooling loop a little bit, but I think it doesn't really matter. And if anything, there's a little bit more coolant, so maybe it stays cool. I don't know, I'm making these things up, but I'm gonna try and just cut them, drain them into this Home Depot bucket. And then we got basically a 3/8 inch male-to-male fitting, and then 2 hose clamps. So we'll just hopefully be able to reroute it back to itself. Hopefully I don't get too covered in coolant. We'll see.
Oh God.
Oh. It's going both ways there. All right. Not terrible. All right, not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I think it helped. Beforehand, I went and I shut off both the valves to the front and the defroster and the rear heater, so nothing was gonna circulate. So, not too much coolant to deal with. We'll just replace a little bit of it after we do this, and let's see how our hose fitting works. Admittedly, I got the wrong size hose splice here. I cut another hose on the other side that was used for the AC, and some of the AC hoses are actually, looks like they're somehow routed into the coolant hoses, and the coolant somehow ties into the AC, but I had gone off of those because they were the same outer diameter, and I was just guessing that they would be the same inner, but they weren't, so I had to get a 5/8 hose splice instead of a 3/8. So let's see how this goes on. These are the hoses that go up into the bus to the heater, and these are the 2 hoses that I'm going to try and kind of reroute and loop back together. So I'm going to even off the ends here, try and do the best I can with the knife, and then try and kind of bend them back into a loop. All set. When we start up the bus, I don't know if well, we don't have the keys today, so I won't test this right now. But when we start up the bus, next we'll just test, make sure. We'll probably eventually secure this to the frame somehow. But it's good for now. Woohoo! Let's go see what Reg's doing inside. She's starting to prep the windows. It's dark in here.
I know.
What you doing?
I am trying to heat off this putty. It's a very tedious task. As you can tell, I'm not even halfway done with my first.
Now I gotta take the heater out from the inside. Thankfully, it's
Oh, that'll be exciting.
pretty unsecured, but that's gonna free up at least a little bit of space. So
it's been broken laying there.
Yeah.
Since we got it.
I'll be in a second.
Okay.
Here, I guess, lady. Got the bucket down there collecting any more. Heater officially gone low. I'm gonna start helping Regan doing this process here. It's what was securing the little pieces of trim in between here. So,
I forgot what it was.
yeah, so it's just like glue holding stuff on here. Of course, it's gonna be a pain in the butt to get off, so we'll get after it. Alright guys, wow, it is windy. Woohoo! Well, half the windows are out on each side. We took 4 out on each side. We're gonna kind of do that section, and this is the side where we're gonna have 2 of these filled in. Those 2 are gonna be filled in, and so I think we're gonna do that. But the idea is, we wanted to do this to get at the entire frame. We wanted to get at these because some of them, you may not be able to see too well because it's blue and crappy in here, but some of them have a little bit of rust and things on them. Of course, our bus has, 0 rust on it, so this is very odd for us to find rust. It's just so weird that there's rust on this bus. Just kidding. But we wanted to be able to get all the way around the poles from the outside and coat them and treat them just like we did the chair rails. So before we seal the windows and put them back in. So one thing we decided we're gonna do, and I guess this could be a tip to anybody who doesn't have their Skoolie like at their house or somewhere that's readily available, is there's probably not too many projects that are like this, but find projects you can take home. So like these windows, I said to Regan, I said, we don't need them here. We don't have to be at the bus to work on them. So why not take the windows home and we can reseal them, because there's a rubber stripping around the edge, like a little gasket that needs to be done. So we can do that at home, and then it's something that we don't have to come to the bus and do, but we can still get done. And then that way the windows are ready to go right back in when all the stuff that we have to do here is done. So I would say that's one tip. If your Skoolie is not readily available to you, you have to drive 15, 30, 45 minutes, whatever, to work on it, try taking some projects home. So this is the first one that we're going to kind of be able to take home, but it'll be nice to have something to do at home in regards to advancing the build. So we're going to get grinding. It's grind time. Windows are grinded out. Now we're going to take a little bit of soapy water in a rag here, wipe them all down, and then we'll do the same phosphoric acid treatment that we did to the chair rails. And then tomorrow we'll come back and we'll prime it, and then Monday maybe we'll come and we'll paint it so we can start getting some of these windows back in and get them sealed. Get the roof sealed. Our only big gaping hole is the thing back there, the door. Battery's dying on us on the camera, so thankfully this isn't too exciting. Greg, already hard at work as usual by the time I pick the camera up. What's up, everybody? Back, and as you can see, things are awfully wide open right now. So, per yesterday's work, today's Sunday. Yesterday's work, as you just saw, got all the windows out, and we pulled the tarp back so that we can have all these open now because we rush treated them. So now we got to basically brush them back down, which is what Reg's doing right now. Look at her go. She's a champ. I'm gonna get going here so we can get painting. Now that we've got the primer on, we're just, now it's gotta dry for 24 hours. So we can't do anything more really with the windows at this moment. Regan's gonna, I think I'm gonna have her scrape off what's remaining of the kind of rubber gasket along the edges that was on the bus. There's one on the bus and then one on each window as well, and they kind of sandwich and make a nice seal there. But I'm gonna have her scrape those off while I try and get out these two AC units here. I think they're the condensers, I'm not sure. But basically part of the AC unit. Obviously we already took out the above head. We'll hopefully use this, utilize this space for toolboxes or some sort of storage underneath. But let's see how hard they are to get out. How hard they are to get out. And here's Regan. I'm going to tell her what she's going to do. This stuff.
Oh God. Okay.
Well, I don't think that was recording for the first one, but now you can see how the second one comes out, now that we know how to do it. Basically you have to take the front cover off, I think, to be able to see the two bolts in the front. And then just make sure everything's disconnected and kind of slide her out. It's not a delicate process. Ugh. Oh God.
Oh my God, look at all of that.
Okay, so successful weekend overall, I would say. AC units out, 8 of the windows out, and we prepped them and primed them, and now they're ready for paint, which will probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, be tomorrow as long as it stays warm enough. But feel pretty good about that progress. Now we're gonna do our tarping of miles, show you guys how fun this is. We kind of are figuring out the best ways to do it, but we just kind of pulled it halfway forward today, so hopefully it'll be easy.